Man, that was a struggle, man. My computer was struggling getting through that intro. Good Lord. What's good with y'all, man? Welcome to another Crimecast. I hope everybody can hear me okay. If you guys can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up. If you guys cannot hear me okay, give me a thumbs down. All right. Shout out to everybody that is in the room early. Good to see each and every one of you guys. Let me give a shout out to everybody that's in here. We got my man AJ in the building. Shout out to AJ. We got Greets in the house. Shout out to Greets. We got AB Promotions in the building, and we got Tori and Rain Reloaded. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Good to see each and every one of you guys. All right. So I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible. I was going to try to rearrange the stream schedule because I got a lot of content that I want to get out today. But for some reason, as clearly as you guys can see, StreamYard is having some issues. I tried to reschedule the time for the stream that I have scheduled on BLR2, and it wouldn't let me. So I'm going to have to hurry up and get that stream done, probably a lot faster than I wanted to, so I can get these other streams out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mama Zeke. Good to see you. All right. So before we get to the meat of this content, which is going to be the Coffee City Cop Corruption Part 2, got a couple other stories that I want to show you guys real quick. All right. And the first one is this one right here. Now, right off the rip, is there anything odd that you might notice about this headline? Amid overdose, a man was arrested, sat in Riverside County jail cell, and died, lawsuit says. If anybody notices anything about that, if anyone has a problem with that, if that just strikes anyone as odd as compared to how other things are dealt with and handled, by all means, put your concerns into the comment section. All right. But this is what happened here. All right. A man was arrested and he sat in a Riverside County jail cell and died. So clearly, Riverside County is being sued. Sheriff also faces more legal claims after a record number of deaths in jails in 2022. Now, you guys, if you're subscribed to Blacklight Revelations news, reviews, and reactions, you guys know that we talked about the record numbers of deaths in a Pennsylvania jail, right? So it seems like maybe around the board, this is the year for increased jail deaths. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Torian says, sounds like the crack pipe epidemic of the 1980s. It does. The only difference is it seems like they actually care that this junkie died. That's the only difference. He's actually getting a lawsuit, and he's not the victim of a crime bill. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hurricane IQ. What's good with it? So now here it says the parents of a man who died after being arrested last year have filed a federal lawsuit saying failures by Indio Police, Riverside County Sheriff's deputies, and jail medical staff led to his death. The lawsuit is at least the 7th to be filed since the start of the year by families of people who died while in sheriff's custody. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Had you all heard anything about this? Because, I mean, apparently these are record numbers of people dying in this jail, and yet this is brand new to me. Shout out to Kid Gravity B1. What's good with it, bro? This is new to me. It does not appear that Octavio Zazuta Jr.'s death was publicly announced by the sheriff department. What happened to all of that transparency that we're supposed to have? Remember, that's one of the things that the law enforcement says that they want is transparency. The newest case, which was filed Thursday, alleges that Indio police officers arrested Zazuta at home in Indio while he was experiencing a drug overdose August 24th of 2022. It says that they brought him to the John J. Benoit Detention Center instead of somewhere that could provide him medical care. Now, let me ask you guys a question. During the crack epidemic, was the standard of how you deal with a crackhead who was overdosing or who had crack on them to take them to a treatment center, to the emergency room, or to jail? Let me know in the comment section which one they did. Deputies working in the jail likewise did not adequately assess Zazuta and placed him in a cell where he was not supervised or monitored, the lawsuit alleges. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Are deputies supposed to be doing medical assessments? I've only ever been to county jail, and it was only to be held until an arraignment, and then it was dismissed. But if I recall correctly, I think after I was booked, I saw an intake nurse. So, last time I checked, deputies don't have medical training, which is one of the reasons why I always say when people are having a mental breakdown, the police are not the right people to call. But this guy wasn't supervised or monitored, according to this lawsuit. Zezuda was found unresponsive 9 hours after first being placed in his cell and was later pronounced dead at a local hospital, according to the complaint. Now, here's my question. Don't most jail cells have cameras inside of them? I'm pretty sure they do, but don't quote me because I could be wrong. Zezuda was found unresponsive 9 hours after being placed in his cell and was later pronounced dead at a local hospital, according to the complaint. Also, don't the COs do rounds to make sure that, everything is going okay? The inmates aren't hurting themselves or each other. I'm pretty sure that happens. The suit states that while no proper assessment was performed, officers recognized that Zezuda was exhibiting symptoms such as dilated pupils and fidgeting movement that suggested that he was under the influence of drugs. And then there's the whole thing that was what the initial call was for that got him arrested, right? We read that earlier in the article, right? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please help me out. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys take a moment and hit that bell. The lawsuit further alleges that jail deputies should have been aware Zezuda was believed to be under the influence of drugs because he had been arrested for public intoxication. Yeah, I thought that's what it said earlier. The complaint accuses the officers who arrested Zezuda and deputies and the medical staff working in the jail of violating Zezuda's constitutional rights by denying him medical care. Now, here's my question for you. How did they deny him medical care if he never requested any medical care? I think what they mean here is that they didn't properly assess him and just get him medical care. That's what I think they mean. Because in order to deny somebody medical care, they have to request it, and you say, no, you're not able to get it. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says the lawsuit accuses the county of maintaining 8 unconstitutional practices or policies in the operation of its jails, including failing to have adequate medical staff, employing people had shown a propensity of ignoring inmates' needs, and treating inmates as if no one cares if they live or die. Well, I'm not trying to be funny, but according to, the Fox News crowd, if you simply have an encounter with the police, that's a death warrant. So you should be thanking people that you just made it to jail. At least that's what they say when it's one of us, right? But now all of a sudden, that's not how people are supposed to be treated. I don't understand. Somebody help me out with that. So now here it says it cites several other cases that it says show a pattern of unconstitutional practices in county jails. What's up with all of this? Now, seriously, how many stories like this do I have? Not just got enough on Crimecast, but across all of my YouTube channels. I thought there was supposed to be some type of effort for quote unquote criminal justice reform. My question is, where is it? Where is it at? Where's this alleged effort at? The complaint also alleged that 3 unnamed nurses or other medical professionals saw Zezuta at the jail, but ignored his condition, okay, and failed to assess him for transport to a hospital, which it calls a breach of their duties. Okay. It should have been evident to the officers that Zezuta was experiencing a mental health crisis or exhibiting bizarre behavior, including extremely labored breathing and fidgeting mannerism, the complaint states. Again, I don't think that sheriffs have a responsibility or a duty to be able to properly medically assess people. That would be on the medical staff. And the medical staff should have an ability to watch the patients remotely, if I'm not mistaken. But again, remember, when it comes to one of us, if you simply have a run-in with the law, it's a death sentence. Isn't that usually how it goes? Isn't that what's usually said when it's one of us having a run-in with the law? So now here it says it was one of 3 Indio police officers involved in the arrest. It says one of 3 Indio police officers involved in the arrest, Kyle Lawrence, who, according to an Indio police Facebook post, was a new officer who had completed field officer training in September of 2021. The complaint seeks unspecified damages for wrongful death, funeral and burial expenses, and loss of Zezuta's future earnings. The suit is the latest to be filed against the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, which is currently being investigated by the California Attorney General's office over allegations the department practices have violated civil rights. Let me ask you guys a question. Shout out to John Guillory. What's good with it, bro? How many police departments currently, right now, are being investigated as a result of alleged violations of civil rights? How many of these police departments are going through that right now? Attorney General Robb Bonta announced he was launching that investigation after the department acknowledged that 18 people had died in the jails it manages last year, the most in over a decade. The most in over a decade, guys. So now here it says neither the sheriff's department or a spokesperson for Riverside County responded to a request for comment on the suit and whether Zezuta's death had been announced by the department. Indio police spokesperson Ben Guitron said the city attorney Stephen Graham was aware of the suit and currently reviewing it. Graham could not immediately be reached for comment. All right. So my question for you guys is, what do you get out of that? Yeah, it's shout out to John. It's insane. That investigation means nothing if they don't find anything. And exactly, I agree 100%. And you already know that they're not going to find anything. And the obvious question is, well, why aren't they going to find anything? Well, the obvious answer is because they're not looking for anything. Right? They're not. We know that they're not looking for anything. So of course they're not going to find anything. It's the same thing that happens with all of these departments. But now the thing is that if there's nothing to find, then why is it that they're always under investigation? You know? Does that make any sense? They want us to just believe anything. So here's another story for you guys. Apparently there was a situation in New York where a resource officer was removed from a school. And literally no one knows why the resource officer was removed from the school. No one has any idea. Now, my question for you guys is, did you guys hear about this story? This just recently happened. Now, the thing that's so interesting about it is that there's no explanation of why this individual was removed from the school. And when the news reporters came to talk to the mayor about it, his reaction will shock you. Okay, so let's check this out.
We have an I-Team exclusive. Students, parents, and staff raising concerns after a Spring Valley resource officer was let go.
And today, when investigative reporter Sarah Wallace went to confront the mayor about why he had the officer removed, this is what happened.
We have a right to ask him. You should please leave. This is my private office.
Would you like to come out and talk to us outside?
No.
Now, the camera is kept.
Now tell me this dude don't look like the Penguin. Look at him real quick. Don't he look like the Penguin? when the Penguin was Danny DeVito. This dude just looked like an evil villain in the mayor's office, and he rowdy as hell. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Oh yeah, he crazy. This dude crazy. He's crazy as all hell. He don't need to be in the mayor's office. He need to be at the admissions office at a mental hospital.
We have an I-Team exclusive. Students, parents, and staff raising concerns after a Spring Valley resource officer was let go.
And today, when investigative reporter Sarah Wallace went to confront the mayor about why he had the officer removed, this is what happened.
We have a right to ask
You
him.
should please leave. This is my private office.
Would you like to come out and talk to us outside?
No.
Now, the camera is kept rolling as the mayor ranted to Sarah. She's live at Village Hall this afternoon with all of the new developments to walk us through this. Sarah.
Well, and Natalie, David, the latest dust-up indeed involves Mayor Alan Simon. Law enforcement sources are telling us that he actually threatened to suspend the police chief after we asked questions because the police chief wouldn't arrest us.
Now that's crazy, right? He's threatened to suspend the police chief because the police chief wouldn't arrest the news people, and the news people didn't do nothing. This is crazy.
But the bigger issue potentially impacts school safety.
This is my private office.
Would you like to come out and talk to us outside?
No.
Okay. Did you tell us why you were?
And if the guy has the camera.
Look, hey, this is a stereotypical rowdy white New Yorker, man. This dude is lit. He's lit, and he got to be about 90 years old. He got to be about 90 years old. Look at him right here in this still shot right here. I bet you this card right here is from his birthday. It say 1943.
And if the guy has the camera.
He about to have a heart attack. Hey, yeah, get out of here. Get the look at him. Get the hell out of here. He about to get right here in this picture. He mad. He said, "Oh, hell no." Nah.
And if the guy has the camera, take the camera and trespassing.
Well, you can't take the camera, but we will.
I can do what I want to do out.
Okay.
Out of my office.
Sure. Spring Valley Mayor Alan Simon.
Look at him limping over there. Listen here. Listen here. I can do whatever I want. Look at him. Look, fuck you. Look, that's what he. Hey, hey, Eric Adams need to let him be the mayor of New York City. This dude would talk to all the migrants down there like that. I don't know what you're doing here, but whatever country you came from, you need to go back there. And then he'd charge them just like that. I said, get out of here. Vaminos, get the hell out of here. Sounded like an old ass nanny. Look, he coming after her like Frankenstein. Look at the secretary in the back. She's trying hard to keep her job. She's like, oh, well, I better use this Purell right here on my desk and keep my hands sanitized. Look at the People of Color Coalition badges in the background. Oh, my God, man. This is funny. Damn, this shit is funny. It's not funny that this individual lost his job as a result of this old fart, though, but it's hilarious. Man, this dude, oh my God, could you imagine if you was his waiter or his waitress? Look, hey, Kid Gravity said, by the way, Spring Valley is tether heaven. Well, look at the picture back there. You know what I'm saying? Look at the secretary, though. She's like, oh, my God, he's doing it again. Let me call the wife. You know, she got the white lady New York accent. Sounded like Janine on the Ghostbusters. Oh, my God. I can't. Oh, my God. Your blood pressure. Mayor, what are you doing, Mayor? Last time you acted like this, we had to take you to the hospital. Man, you know his life alert going off, his pacemaker jumping all over his chest. Man, it's lit. Probably done shit himself too. Ah, damn it, Janine, I need a new Depends. This is why I don't like the media coming here.
What I want to do, out.
Okay,
Out of my office.
sure. Spring Valley Mayor Alan Simon furious as I tried to ask him about his latest controversial decision to remove the longtime and beloved school resource police officer Kwesi Evelyn from Spring Valley High School.
Now, see, that's the problem. Why you remove this dude from the high school? Nobody knows. And he won't explain. Shout out to Lehman Lucas. What's good with it, bro? see, now this is the problem right here. You know what I'm saying?
Police officer Kwesi Evelyn from Spring Valley High School.
There are some students who don't have fathers. He is a father figure to them. He encourages the students.
So imagine that. A black police officer who clearly has a good rapport in the community and the kids really respect him. Very much opposite of that old bag of bones who was spazzing out because the news was at his office.
Pushes them, be the best you can be.
How worried are you about safety?
I'm very worried.
The police chief told us the position.
Hey. Hey, Torian is being generous. Torian said, how many years you think he has left? Bro, after that attack that he just had just then, he might not even have years. He might have days, weeks, maybe even minutes, hours. You know what I'm saying?
Was abolished by the mayor. There are still civilian guards, but Evelyn's disappearance came as a shock to parents on this first day of school.
It wasn't somebody.
So they just removed his position with no explanation. See, so that's the issue right there. Yeah, mystery solved, Hurricane IQ. Mystery solved. And see, now here goes my thing, right? And I ain't trying to really, go in on anybody or anything like this, right? But, there's people out there on the internet, you know what I'm saying? They be, saying they be doing this, that, and the other, and, advocating for black men. Here goes a black man, clearly a black man who's doing this job and has earned respect amongst the people that he works with. I ain't really seen none of them cats really cover this story all like that. Just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Appearance came as a shock to parents on this first day of school.
It wasn't somebody who was just coming to be like, oh, this is a job. You understand? It was not just a job for him. He treated these kids like they were his kids. So I am very concerned.
And imagine that, right? All of the people that's advocating for him. So far, the two that they showed on the news, black women. Imagine that. See, that's what I be saying about in the real world, YouTube talking points don't hold up.
About the safety here, because when fights break out, he's the one who's there to cut it out.
In April of 2022, when a student was stabbed in the school parking lot, it was Officer Evelyn who applied a tourniquet. Law enforcement sources tell the I-Team that Evelyn, who was back on street patrol today, had refused Mayor Simon's orders to report to him weekly on the behavior of certain school officials.
So there you go. There you go. So the mayor wanted him to do some shit that was outside of his job duty and some shady shit. The mayor sounded like what he wanted him to do was to spy on some people that the mayor wanted to get out of here. And he said, nah, bro, I ain't here for that. I'm here to take care of these kids and, you know what I'm saying, maintain peace, safety, and justice and take my ass home at the end of the day. And the mayor said, yeah, what? Yeah, listen here, son, you're not going to do what I told you to do. I'll have your job. I'll have your job tomorrow. And there you go. That's what it was.
The mayor refusing to answer our questions about that.
And that's why the mayor won't answer any questions, because his old shady ass know that he was up to something. Shout out to my man Alonzo. What's good with it, bro?
Behavior of certain school officials. The mayor refusing to answer our questions about that. Do you want to talk about why you eliminated the school resource officer position and endangered?
I'm sorry, I can't. It's a personnel matter.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Goodbye. Good luck.
A few minutes after that, the mayor summoned the police.
Man, that dude is terrible, man. Hey, listen, man. He did that brother a favor, man. Could you imagine having to report to this old bastard? Office smelling like ass and Bengay. Could you imagine?
School resource officer position and
I'm
endangered.
sorry, I can't. It's a personnel matter.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Goodbye. Good luck.
A few minutes after that, the mayor summoned the police chief into his office. We were later told by law enforcement sources Simon wanted us arrested. That didn't happen. Back at Spring Valley High School, the focus is on Officer Evelyn. Your message to the mayor?
Well, my message to the mayor would be to bring Officer Evelyn back.
You released a man who is a big authority in the school, and we want answers, and we want them now.
A school district spokesman told us they are hoping that the matter can be resolved quickly because consistency with school resource officers is absolutely critical. The Rockland County Police Chiefs Association told us they firmly stand behind the police chief here, that if there is an effort to suspend him, it will be a violation of the Police Act. And then the ultimate question, will the district attorney's office or the AG...
Now, what I want you guys to do is pay very close attention, right? Pay close attention. The police department is on the side of the police chief, right? All he did was threaten to suspend the police chief. He actually eliminated the black dude's position, and the police didn't give a statement on how they feel about what's going on with the black dude. So even though this fat old fuck is out of control, pay close attention to how the police is still on code with his ass.
office begin an investigation into those claims that the mayor apparently tried to pressure an officer to spy on school officials. Live from Spring Valley, Sarah Wallace, News 4 New York.
All right, so there's that. Only in New York, you know what I'm saying? Only in New York, all right? So let's see what else the police have been up to. Not solving crimes. Shout out to my man, Lloyd Sky 9, as usual, right? Because there's one thing that you can expect from the police, and that's brutality and incompetency, right? Two things that you can always expect: brutality and incompetency. Now, anytime you're talking about the police and what the police do, you got a bunch of white people sitting up there saying, well, shit happens to white people all the time and nobody talks about it. No, shit happens to white people and white people don't talk about it. Because here's some shit that happened to a white person.
A 19-year-old arrested for an assault in a city he'd never stepped foot in. Law enforcement experts say San Marcos police failed to take basic investigative steps in this case.
How come this ain't on Fox News? You know, they always like to do that talking point about what happens to white people as a result of the police, so black people shouldn't complain. But if white lives matter, why aren't you talking about this? Have anybody seen this on Fox and Friends? Because remember, according to Fox and Friends and Matt Walsh and people like that, white men are the most oppressed, right? Now, I don't know if this qualifies as this white guy being oppressed, but this is pretty fucked up.
A 19-year-old arrested for an assault in a city he'd never stepped foot in. Law enforcement experts say San Marcos police failed to take basic investigative steps in this case. The man says police based his arrest almost entirely on a Facebook picture, a case of mistaken identity that left him battling to clear his name.
Now, what's the name of that Twitter account that we reacted to, Torian? You remember what it was called? The White Solidarity Twitter account or whatever? Where's Fox News Tucker Carlson's special report about this? On Twitter, I guess, on X is where it would be. Yeah, the anti-white watch. I mean, if you know what I'm saying, you got the police, you know what I'm saying, just throwing white people in jail for some shit that went down in a city that they never been to in their life. I mean, that sounds pretty anti-white to me. You know what I'm saying? As anti-white as anti-white can possibly get. Where's they post that about this? Here goes my question. Why is it that none of these white watching places are talking about this? Same way they didn't talk about Zachary Gifford. Now, they'll bring that stuff up when we're talking about police brutality that goes on against us while sitting there complaining that nobody's talking about any of this. But here's your opportunity and you don't take it. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Torian Rain. Torian said, I sent another PC on PC violent altercation in Discord. PC woman gets knocked by PC male cop. Oh yeah, we about to definitely show that one. Let me see real quick. Hold on real quick. Oh, this is it right here on IG. Oh man, hold on real quick. Let me see this. Let me see. Hold on real quick. Close. There we go. Okay. Oh, damn. That's wild. Hold on. Let me pause it real quick. Okay. All right, cool. Excuse me. All right, we'll check this out as soon as we get done with this. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you guys smash the like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys hit the bell. Kid Gravity says they won't talk about it because they would have to acknowledge white supremacy and their complicity. Exactly. That's why anytime these police brutality stories happen, I hop on to them to show how the police does this shit and then how they're compliant with it and are okay with it by their code of silence, because they're perfectly okay with letting one of their own get beat up, killed, deleted, hospitalized, whatever is necessary to maintain the ability to do that to other people. And it just debunks all of their talking points. When you own all of the media and you fail to say anything, you're using that extended blue line of silence. Nobody is fooled by that nonsense.
And now, finally, an acknowledgement from the police department. Tonight, the man sharing his story with the KVUE Defenders. Here's senior reporter Tony Plahetsky.
Gosh, I guess I was working for 6 or 7 hours.
Austin Colson had just finished a full day of classes at Sam Houston State and his night job as a Pizza Hut delivery driver.
It was a very long day.
When he headed home around 10:30 on October 4th, 2021.
On my way home was my worst nightmare.
He followed his usual 10-minute route in Montgomery County in the Houston suburbs along FM 1097 through his hometown of Willis before turning onto the quiet 2-lane Coode Cemetery Road. As he entered this intersection, now marked with a stoplight at FM 830, a sheriff's deputy stopped him for failing to make a complete stop.
I saw her turn behind me right here, and then she flipped her lights on.
Colson pulled into this daycare parking lot.
When the cop pulled me over, that was the first time ever being pulled over. Oh, I was scared. I wasn't doing nothing wrong.
Lucky him, that was the first time that he had ever gotten pulled over in his life. Must be nice. I wonder how he managed that. What do you guys think?
But I was scared. I mean, my heart was beating.
Less than a mile from home, he thought he'd get a ticket and be on his way within minutes. Instead, a second deputy arrived.
Both walked up to my window and she told me to get out of the car. I was under arrest. I had a warrant out for my arrest for assault with bodily injury. I was like, where did this happen? Where did this assault happen? Her response was Hays County. And I'm like,
facts. They gave him that extra dramatic music so you can really be interested in it.
Can you tell me where Hays County is? She's like, I don't know.
Colson spent the next 16 hours in the Montgomery County Jail, confused about how he could possibly be charged with a crime for which he could face up to a year in jail in a city 200 miles away.
Never been there before, and I was stunned by it.
On the day of his release, he and his father began immediately making phone calls, trying to find out what could have possibly led to his arrest.
When you call a town, 3 hours away and you try to talk to their police department, they're not real willing.
Now, how much you want to bet that these people right here are pro law enforcement? How much you want to bet that these people have gone in on George Floyd and all of that? You guys think that these people were the kind of people that were, you know, banging for justice or no?
Willing to give information or to talk to you at all.
Dozens of phone calls, and weeks later, they finally unraveled what happened. Much of what they discovered in a lawsuit against the city of San Marcos and multiple officers and supervisors from the San Marcos Police Department.
Now, these people are pro-police and suing the police. Because it just doesn't matter until it happens to them. But then even when it happens to them, what we'll do is we'll deal with it, we'll deal with it quietly and locally. Can't make too much noise about it. We have to deal with these issues internally and not let people know that, there's something going on. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 16 people watching and we got 13 likes. If everybody can take a moment and smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell and subscribed, please make sure you do that and share the stream to your social media.
According to the lawsuit, a man in San Marcos was the victim of an assault by multiple men in June 2021 outside a bar called Showdown. That man positively identified one of his alleged assailants, and police later arrested and charged that suspect with assault. He happened to be from Colson's hometown.
I haven't seen this guy in 5 years.
The lawsuit claims the assault victim, scrolling through the alleged assailant's social media feeds, saw a picture of Colson and told San Marcos police he'd figured out the identity of the second perpetrator. He gave them the name Austin Colson. The suit alleges.
So what they're saying so far is that this is looking like a quote unquote mistaken identity.
That in an effort to place Colson in San Marcos, the lead investigator got incorrect information that Colson was a student at Texas State University. Then they got this arrest warrant that popped up that night when deputies pulled Colson over.
If you want to see a wrong investigation, you look at this case.
Timothy Williams, a national law enforcement expert in Los Angeles who specializes in police procedures and wrongful convictions, said San Marcos police failed to take basic investigative steps before getting a warrant for Colson's arrest, like questioning the suspect.
I thought this never happened, though. Remember, the cops are always right. And if you don't resist or, as long as you just follow the rules and do what you're told, then everything will be okay. Right?
You got to corroborate what the witness is telling you. And how you corroborate that is you do your independent investigation. Talk to this person, find out where this person was at. Does he or she have an alibi? And you investigate those alibis as well.
Williams says what happens represents a failure of both investigators and supervisors. The city responded to the lawsuit by asking a court to dismiss it.
Now, here go my question for you guys. Why are so many police departments failing? Only in a small town. Facts. If you guys agree with Lehman Lucas, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Only in a small town, right? I mean, I guess he tried it in a small town and it didn't work out. They warned him.
In a statement, the city of San Marcos says, quote, Austin Colson was specifically identified by the assault victim as one of the assailants. It added, quote, after the arrest, the police department received additional information and conducted additional investigation that resulted in the determination that the suspect was incorrectly identified. The statement concluded that, quote, the district attorney's office was promptly contacted and advised the state would facilitate Mr. Colson seeking and obtaining an expedited expunction, meaning that the case was dropped and his arrest removed from public record.
You would never think something like this would happen to you.
Colson says he believes the San Marcos Police Department should face accountability, and that's the reason he's pursuing a case against the city.
Isn't that ironic? He believes that the police should face accountability. What do you guys think? I think that, this is something that happened and everybody should just move forward. I mean, just move past it. Why stay stuck in the past? You're free now. Right?
Several of his officers and supervisors involved in the investigation that led to his wrongful arrest.
It's just totally crazy that this happened.
Facts.
To me.
Oh, this is just totally crazy that this happened to me. Yeah, I bet you do think that, don't you? I bet you they've looked at people on TV and said how not crazy it was for it to happen to them. I'll be willing to put money on it.
Really crazy that this happened to me. I shouldn't have had to prove my innocence, but in this situation, I definitely.
He shouldn't have had to prove his innocence. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of thoughts going through everybody's head. Let me know what you guys think.
Definitely did.
The KVUE defenders also reached out to the Hays County Justice of the Peace, Maggie H. Moreno. She's the judge who signed the arrest warrant for Colson that San Marcos police presented to her. Experts say often the first set of checks and balances for the criminal justice system is for judges to make sure police meet their burden for an arrest. Judge Moreno declined to comment.
Notice how everybody declines to comment. They always have a lot to say any other time. But in this particular situation, they decided to decline to comment. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys throw some radiation emoji in the chat. We got a new subscriber over on Twitch. My question is, how come they declined to comment? So shout out to Torian. This is what Torian just sent. Not one person was shot. This is what white privilege looks like. So let me see. Is the sound on? Yeah.
Oh my God. Yo, Coops.
No mace pulled out.
Get over here, bro.
What the fuck?
Oh my God.
What?
Kubi, get back. Kubi.
And it,
oh my God. Oh my God. You just fucking knocked her out, bro. You just fucking knocked her out, bro. You just knocked her out.
these motherfuckers wild. She hit that pavement too.
Dude, her head just hit the pavement. Her head just hit the pavement, bro.
Nobody in handcuff, nobody shot, nobody dead. Let's look at this shit again. Hold on real quick.
Oh my God. Yo, Coops. Coops, get over here, bro. Oh my God. Kubi, get back. Kubi. Oh my God. Oh my God. You just fucking knocked her out, bro. You just fucking knocked her out, bro. You just knocked her out.
And the thing that's crazy about these crazy motherfuckers is if a black person walked past, they would have forgot all about that shit and start fucking with the black person. Fucking ridiculous. So, speaking of privilege, that Brazilian guy that's on the run, he's not the only person that's been outsmarting the dumbass police. This old fuck right here has too. Let's see what his ass did.
All right, so for decades, he was able to elude capture. But this summer, defendant Donald Santini's luck finally ran out. Santini's accused of murder nearly 40 years ago, but he was busted hiding in California and then brought back to the Bay Area to face charges. This morning, he was back in court, and Fox 13's Gloria Gomez was there, joining us now from the courthouse tonight in downtown Tampa. Hi there, Gloria. So what exactly?
Anytime you guys watch one of my Crimecast videos, you guys should tag Charlie Kirk in the anti-whitewash page.
Happened today.
All the evidence against him turned over right away. Elusive fugitive Donald Santini was once again emotional in court, wiping tears as he waited for his virtual hearing to get started. Prosecutors say Santini has been on the run for decades. He was busted earlier this year in San Diego and brought back to Hillsborough County to face murder charges.
How are you on the run for decades? Explain that to me. But yet these people support law enforcement, who is clear that law enforcement is highly incompetent. They're extremely incompetent. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree that law enforcement is extremely incompetent, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree and you think that they are competent, explain to me in what way and which ones are competent.
All right, so for decades, he was able to elude capture. But this summer, defendant Donald Santini's luck finally ran out. Santini's accused of murder nearly 40 years ago, but he was busted hiding in California and then brought back to the Bay Area to face charges. This morning, he was back in court, and Fox 13's Gloria Gomez was there, joining us now from the courthouse tonight in downtown Tampa. Hi there, Gloria. So what exactly happened today?
All the evidence against him turned over right away. Elusive fugitive Donald Santini was once again emotional in court, wiping tears as he waited for his virtual hearing to get started. Prosecutors say Santini has been on the run for decades. He was busted earlier this year in San Diego and brought back to Hillsborough County to face murder charges. With his trial set for November, his attorney is demanding police reports and evidence as quickly as possible.
It's on June 8th, and we would ask that the court compel the state to disclose any and all FTLE reports related to biological or fingerprint testing that have been done since the submission of 15 items.
So what it is I'm just the organizer of this case at this point. Obviously, I had nothing to do with it 40 years ago.
Prosecutors say nearly 40 years ago, Santini skipped town as investigators zeroed in on him as the prime suspect in the murder of Cynthia Wood.
Now, here's my question. How did they not get this guy? How did he get away?
Her body was discovered in a ditch days after she was reported missing. She was strangled to death, and detectives say Santini's fingerprints were on the body. Feeling the heat, Santini disappeared. Now he's back, and in July, a Tampa judge denied him bond.
Being on the run, my words, for almost 40 years is a consciousness of guilt. You knew you were running from something. You're the definition of flight risk. There is nothing I can do to preserve the safety of this community if I were to let you go.
Now Santini is moving quickly to take his case to a jury.
What is he crying for? Shout out to you guys for hitting that ×3 combo. What is he crying for?
But first, he'll need all the evidence that will be used against him.
And the judge has scheduled a hearing for the next 2 weeks to make sure that the defense is getting all that evidence. His trial is set, Mark, for November 26th. Back to you.
Gloria, go.
This dude is crying, and he basically was able to elude the law enforcement probably for longer than he would have been and will be in jail. You see how old that guy is? He's not going to survive. He's not going to survive 40 years in jail. So he was able to elude law enforcement for longer than what his jail sentence is going to be. And he's sitting in court crying. He's sitting up there crying. Yeah, that's exactly what the judge is like, Lois Guy 9. The judge is sitting up there like, you forced me to do this. So now, next what we got is the Coffee City police situation. You guys recall where we left off at with the Coffee City police situation? Where we left off was that they were doing an investigation on the Coffee City Police Department. And the Coffee City police chief had been suspended. Now, here's my question. Do you guys remember why all of that took place? Let me know why that took place. Here's the updates.
We're continuing to follow breaking news tonight. A top city official and an entire police force are out of a job after a series of investigations revealed this.
So the entire, I want you guys to, yes, you heard that right. The entire Coffee City Police Department is gone. There's no more Coffee City Police Department. Every single individual in the Coffee City Police Department has been fired, and the police department no longer exists. Now, if that police department no longer exists, where are the employment records going to be for those officers who were involved in misconduct? What do you guys think?
Misconduct in a small East Texas town. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Marangeli Lopez.
And I'm Brennan Gurley. We've been following this story from the beginning, and tonight we are learning what the city council plans to do after finding out their police chief allegedly lied in his application and hired officers with known legal offenses. Our Raleigh Jayswald joins us now with what's next for the small town.
Following the city council meeting, the city has decided
It's always in a small town. Now, you guys remember when I started that Surviving the Suburbs series? And then Jason Aldean came out with that song, Try It in a Small Town. I'm just saying.
We're continuing to follow breaking news tonight. A top city official and an entire police force are out of a job after a series of investigations revealed misconduct in a small East Texas town. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Marangeli Lopez.
And I'm Brennan Gurley. We've been following this story from the beginning, and tonight we are learning what the city council plans to do after finding out their police chief allegedly lied in his application and hired officers with known legal offenses. Our Raleigh Jayswald joins us now with what's next for the small town.
Following the city council meeting, the city has decided to fire Chief of Police Portillo and deactivate the Coffee City Police Force.
We just felt it was in the best interest of us to deactivate the department.
When does that happen? Like, you just boom, like no more police department. If you guys have ever seen anything like this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't ever seen anything like this, give me a thumbs down. Seriously. I'm dead serious. Like, when does this happen? Has anybody ever seen anything like this at all? I have literally never seen anything like this. And like Torian said down there in the comment section, it was literally like just a matter of days. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a matter of days. Like, you can't make this up. Like, this is crazy.
Until we were able to get new leadership.
So I was very sad.
I think that mayor got rid of the police department that quick to get rid of whatever evidence there is of him benefiting from the corruption in that police department. Just like how that lady tried to get in front of the Scorpion unit before people started looking into her. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. And shout out to y'all for getting that ×5 combo.
Satisfied with that. It definitely needed to happen.
This decision to fire the chief came after an independent investigation conducted by the city confirmed the DWI allegation against John J. Portillo. The former chief did not disclose that charge on his job application. Coffee City is a town with a population of 250 people. Records show the police department had 50 officers on staff. Mayor Jeff Blackstone says the council decided to deactivate the entire.
Now, how racist do you guys think that town is? How racist do you think Coffee City is? Do you think just a bunch of racist inbreds live there? If you ask me, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it was listed as a sundown town somewhere. Facts. Shout out to my man Black Manta. Peace to the chat. Hit the like button. Big facts. Smash that like button. Get us over 20.
Entire police force instead of pursuing individual investigations.
The active duty officers will either look for new employment or they will reapply whenever we do assign a new chief. The reserve officers, they just will have to find a new office.
Meantime, the Henderson County Sheriff's Department will assist on 911 calls.
We're going to answer the call.
That's some of the truest shit ever wrote. Lloyd Sky 9 says, if it hurts them while hurting us, as long as it hurts us, it's okay. Facts. If you guys agree with Lloyd Sky 9 right there, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
In order of priority.
The most severe is going to be the quickest.
Coffee City resident Rosanna Billings says they're ready for a trustworthy police force to take care of their residents.
The Texas Proud officers that are going to do what they need to do instead of try to make the money for the city.
We're not trying to make money off of speeding tickets. We're just trying to get people to be safe, slow down, you know, and try to keep drugs out of our area.
Mayor Blackstone adds that with the
250 people. I mean, if anybody's bringing drugs in the area, you should know who they are. Like 250 people, that's a city that's the size of like Amazon, you know, warehouse or something like that. Like, seriously, you can't keep track. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen 125. What's good with it?
decisions made today, there's no need to continue investigating the police department. The focus is now on rebuilding the reputation of small town Coffee City.
We're going to have it.
No, there should be an investigation still on the police department. Everything that they did needs to be investigated, as well as who signed off and finalized on everything that they did, as well as who hired the chief, which is probably the mayor. Let me be quiet.
Police department that everybody in the community can trust and that is going to be working towards serving our community.
In Coffee City, I'm Nirali Jaiswal with CBS 19.
Well, we're learning Portillo had tried to email his resignation before the meeting, but council members refused to accept that and outright fired the police chief.
So here's the thing, right? So look at this. And shout out to everybody for hitting that ×7 combo. Excuse me. So I want you guys to see, do you see how they made it a priority to fire this guy and not accept a resignation? How many times have we seen when police officers do something to a black person that they allow the officer to resign with grace? I want to make sure you guys notice that. I'm going to play that again. And this dude is a scumbag.
Members refused to accept that and outright fired.
You see that?
Working towards serving our community.
In Coffee City, I'm Nirali Jaiswal with CBS 19.
Well, we're learning Portillo had tried to email his resignation before the meeting, but council members refused to accept that and outright fired the police chief. There's no timeline on when a new chief will or when the police department will be reinstated. We'll continue to follow developments on this story as we get them.
So they just got rid of the whole police department. Like, that is wild, man. God damn it. Shit. That is wild. They just got rid of the whole police department, like just like that. Poof. So what I want you guys to see is that when it comes to certain things, when it comes to dealing with certain situations, they can move fast. Like, here's evidence of them moving fast. Well, we just can't get it done. Shit. They got it done real fast in Coffee in Coffee City. What do you mean you can't get it done? And what do you mean you can't go to those extents? Shit, they've not only fired the police chief, they got rid of the whole damn police department. They got rid of the whole police department. Look at this shit.
Up first tonight, breaking news from the KHU 11 Investigates team.
Just a few hours ago, the city council in tiny Coffee City, Texas, voted unanimously to fire its police chief and deactivate the entire police department until a new chief can be hired.
So they got rid of the whole police department until a new chief can be hired. They didn't even move anybody up in the ranks. None of that. They didn't get a sheriff to temporarily manage it. None of that. When have they ever done anything like this? This is wild, man. So I just want y'all to see this. And if now check this out, right? The city council, they said, is the ones that voted this. So shout out to TD, who always be talking about local politics. This is local politics. Let's check this out.
Up first tonight, breaking news from the KHU 11 Investigates team.
Just a few hours ago, the city council in tiny Coffee City, Texas, voted unanimously to fire its police chief and deactivate the entire police department until a new chief can be hired. This comes after KHU 11 Investigates uncovered questionable practices in the department in a series of reports.
Jeremy Rogowski is in Coffee City tonight with the exclusive update. Jeremy.
The Coffee City Council took less than 15 minutes to reach its decision. It means this
less than 15 minutes. That's all it takes. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. They liquidated the entire police department. 15 minutes. They was able to solve this problem within 15 minutes. They said in 15 minutes, the chief is fired and the police department, poof, gone. So when they say what they can't do, they're lying. They're lying. Here's my thing, right? If you listen now, they have these bias lists of news reporting, and of course, like nobody that reports, you know, any of the type of content that I talk about is on any of those lists. But now here's my thing. I'm using a local news report as reference material, right? So my question is, how biased is this? How biased is what I'm saying on this stream? And again, this is what I'm talking about how when I tell people, people will never come near this kind of content to try to refute it or say anything against anything that I'm saying, because it's irrefutable. People might be able to troll with some ad hominem accounts or some ad hominem talking points, or, you know what I'm saying, like try to, you know, bring in, you know, outside talking points, or take the heat off of the content with personal attacks. You can't refute anything that I'm saying. I mean, this Crimecast, the Crimecast channel, the entire channel has stories like this. You know what I'm saying? The entire channel.
The Coffee City Council took less than 15 minutes to reach its decision. It means this tiny town of 250 people that once had 50 officers on the force now has none. Coffee City Council members took swift and serious action after what KHEO11 investigates uncovered. A police department that routinely hired...
Bro, no talk from the usual suspects about defund the police when it comes to this. Yet look at what just happened here. They went beyond, bro, they went beyond defund the police. They Thanos snapped the police. These motherfuckers in this small town, real life, actually Thanos snapped the police. That's actually what happened. This was a Thanos snap of the police department. And just so we're clear, so everybody is clear that this isn't an exaggeration. Did this police department get Thanos snapped? They went beyond defund the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only did they defund the police, like that I mean, like that's they eradicated the shit. They annihilated the police department.
Cops with troubling work histories, hired by a chief, John J. Portillo, who had an unresolved criminal charge and who launched a questionable warrant division with officers who didn't even work in Coffee City.
There was things that we weren't aware of, and that just like really opened our eyes that, you know, there's major changes that have got to be made and made quickly.
Portillo had tried to email his resignation before the meeting, but council members refused to accept it and instead outright fired the chief. And in a bombshell move, it also voted to deactivate the department as a whole.
We just felt it was best to basically...
Now, what made them feel that it was best to completely deactivate the entire department? Like, if you ask me, there's other stuff that they knew about that's not being talked about in this report. Would you guys agree? And honestly, if you ask me, the other stuff that they know about that's not being talked about in this report, the residents of Coffee City are aware of and are on code with these police officers and are keeping it quiet. Yet they fired the black cop for doing his job. Facts. Facts.
Terminate the program. That way we're able to go out, find a new chief, let him do all the proper evaluations and determine if
he said terminate the program, like the police department is a program. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, that is so crazy. That's so crazy, man. Like, that is wild. This is wild.
he wants to rehire anybody or just start from scratch.
The action was welcome news for many residents who say they've lived with over-aggressive policing for too long.
Ever since we moved here, it was every day cop pulling in for one reason or another.
So now I'm curious as to, because I'm not trying to, not trying to stereotype or anything like how they would if I happened to walk through there, but these people, they just don't look like the defund or deactivate or Thanos snap the police type, do they? I mean, they just don't look like they fit the demographic. I guarantee you none of these people are liberal. But they sure as hell wanted the police department out of their small town. How could why and anti-white watch, Fox News? How come nobody's talking about this?
Something needed to happen. That's for sure.
The Henderson County Sheriff's Office will respond to calls for the time being. As for the 50 full-time and reserve officers, we're told they will not be allowed to perform police officer activities unless or until they're picked up by another department.
Man, that's wild. They basically... Let me ask you guys a question. Is this like citywide white privilege or no? Yeah, we're just gonna rock without a police department. Like, it's all good. Wild.
Picked up by another department. Finally, we reached out to John J. Portillo for comment. We have not heard back.
It has been quite the investigation and quite the development.
Absolutely. If you guys agree with Lloyd Sky 9, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Lloyd Sky 9 said they will be the first to make a racist comment referring to defund the police. Facts. Super facts. I guarantee you that they've posted somewhere that somebody's a didn't do. And they shouldn't be given the benefit of the doubt until proven that they didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Tonight.
Jeremy Rogowski in Coffee City. Thank you, Jeremy. You can watch Jeremy's series of stories on Coffee City on the KHU11 Plus app. It's free to download on Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku.
So there's that. You know what I'm saying? And there's the fat bastard that got fired because he was a drunk and decided to skip court. You know what I'm saying? So immediately after this live stream ends, I invite you to the next one, which is not the one that I wanted to do. I wanted to reschedule it, but it looks like I'm going to have to do it anyway. So I will catch you all momentarily on Blacklight Revelations 2. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit the bell. Help your boy out by leaving a comment after the video or the live streams that you watch. And I will catch you all on the next one. All right? Peace.